Edition of Ghana iBag will be in the studio. They've been embarking on an awareness campaign this past month. And so we thought it was necessary to actually invite them over again. In fact, the president was here a few weeks ago. And we thought to invite them back again for another conversation about insurance claims. You know, one of the main reasons why some people don't buy insurance is that they do not believe that insurance companies will fulfill their payment of their claims when they become due. So we thought, okay, let's find out why insurance claims are sometimes repudiated by insurance companies and how brokers help to deal with this. My big brother Stephen Koranteng, your boy, is Vice President and Chairman of the Education Committee of iBag, and he's here with Richard Sako, who's also a member of iBag, and they're here in the studio. Welcome, brothers. How you doing?
Thank you, Leslie.
Thank you.
Really good to see you, and I'm glad you actually took time off your busy schedules to come educate us on insurance claims and why we might not get paid our claims. Yeah?
Yeah, thank you.
But before we actually get into it, though, how's the month been? The awareness creation and all. Is it getting some good feedback?
Yeah, I think it's been very insightful. We're happy that we are doing this. The feedback from the public is that they want us to do more and more. So
Right.
I think it's good that partners like you, Joy Multimedia Group, we are happy that you're giving us more platform to be able to educate the public.
Good
Because
stuff.
That's the way to go.
Let's talk about an insurance claim for starters. What are we referring to?
Yeah, so when you buy an insurance, you buy it to protect some risk. That when in an event that you get an accident or something happens to you, you want insurance company to come to your aid and pay. Mm-hmm. So when you talk about claim, basically it's making a request when you suffer the loss that you insure, making the request based on the terms of what you bought. So that's what it means by making a claim.
Okay, so I insured my car and it's a problem. Then I call you and say, okay, well, I've suffered the risk.
Yes.
So what are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
That's a claim.
That's a claim. Yeah.
Okay, so how can you claim? Let's start off with a motor or comprehensive and third party. These are the two kinds of insurance we have for motor, right? So how do we make a motor comprehensive claim or a third party policy claim?
So for ease of convenience, especially regards to the fact that we've listened to the public in the past, what we do is that we've shortened the process of especially claiming for motor, whereby it's just 4 documents.
Okay.
So the very first one is picture of the incident,
Mm-hmm.
if it's comprehensive, a police report if it's a third party that is involved.
Okay.
If there's no third party and you are claiming under your own damage section of your policy, a picture, a completed claim form which will be aided by, usually for all iBack registered brokers, we aid our clients in filling those forms.
Mm-hmm.
So you fill the completed claim form, and then you have a copy of your driver's license to ensure that you were duly registered under the laws of Ghana to have driven that car. And then you give us estimate of repairs from the workshop.
Okay. Oh, that's
Easy
that's
does
quite,
it.
That's quite simple.
Yeah. So
Very.
that's for the comprehensive
That's
part.
for the
So
comprehensive,
the third party motor. Third party basically means that your vehicle, when you buy third party policy, what it means is that I don't care about what happens to my vehicle. But by law, there are other road users. So the people on the road, when you damage their property or you knock down somebody. So for third party, you, the owner, must immediately inform, or the person you must immediately inform your insurance company that I've caused this damage, I've done this. And then it behoves on the third party, the person who is injured or whose property is destroyed, to then get a police report and then file a claim against the insurance company. And let me repeat, people have the notion that for third party claims, you need to go and hire a lawyer. It's you can actually do it, on your own. You can go to the insurance company, or if you have a broker, the broker will assist you. I'm not saying that lawyers are not important, but you don't always need to go and hire
You need
a
to
lawyer.
go through all that.
Yeah, you can.
I see.
Insurance companies are paying people all the time without, lawyers coming in.
But with the explanation you've given, it's quite straightforward and pretty
Yes, it is.
simple, isn't it?
It is.
Okay. So what about life insurance policies? Maybe a funeral policy.
So for life policies, if it's a funeral policy, you have insured somebody's life. So you need to provide evidence that the person is dead. There have been a lot of instances where people come and claim that the person is dead. They do investigation and you go and you see the person is on his way going to the market. So we will need death certificate and burial certificate. We understand that in some remote areas you cannot find death certificate or burial certificate. So sometimes the attestation by the malam or the pastor who did the burial will show that. And sometimes they will ask for the ID of the person.
Okay.
Some people get angry when they say, why are you asking me to provide the ID of the dead person? The reason is that when you were buying the policy, you provided certain age that my father is is 40 years. And based on that, they did actuarial computation and charge you a premium. So if it turns out that your father was 90-year-old, it means that, you lied under the policy. So basically that, and then you fill a claim form and you'll be paid. For investment-based ones, you just have to go with your policy document and an ID that is mature that want to surrender, and the life insurance company will pay it to you.
So I guess it's pretty much not different when it comes to commercial and domestic fire policies as well, right?
Yes, it is.
In terms of the commercial fire, and then you want to stick in terms of commercial fire insurance, you would need first also to report, because it's fire. The police will have to come in. We need a police report, a fire service report from the chief fire signed by the chief fire officer, and then estimate of the repairs, a loss adjusters report. That's in relation to commercial fire.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
For verification of the estimate of repairs.
So what are some of the causes of insurance claim remediation? I think you mentioned one when it comes to life insurance, where somebody lied about the age of the deceased and whatnot. But what are some of the other things or the other reasons why an insurance claim may be repudiated?
So obviously, insurance, as my senior colleague intimated earlier, is a policy that has governed by terms and conditions. So whenever a claim is called upon, we need to interpret those terms and conditions. And we interpret those terms and conditions as per what was contained in it. One of the very first one is indemnity. A policy for insurance is an indemnity policy, usually for non-life policies. So once we are indemnification means that we have to restore you to the exact position you were pre the accident or the incident. So it means that we cannot make you less off or worse off. So if the estimate of repairs for which you meet, one of the things that is always an issue with back and forth when we can have a motor claim has got to be the contribution. So the estimate that you have brought, if the cost of the car that you have insured is above the value, then it means I would have to call for you to have, because it means that you have underinsured at the time that you were insuring the policy. So we'd have to call on that term for you to know that you didn't pay the right premium, as my senior colleague intimated in the life. You didn't pay the right amount of the premium to the pool for you to partake in that pool that you are being a member of. So it means that you don't have to contribute. But whenever these issues come, usually they are a bit thorny issues. So that's one of the policy terms and conditions that usually has had very telling effect in terms of relationship with the insured and the insurance company.
Yeah, maybe if I just add something small. So what is said, one of them, the argument is normally about the terms. What did you buy? So sometimes I have in mind I'm buying this, and then the policy you bought actually is saying otherwise. So what's the value you provided? So if you provided 100,000 Ghana cedis for the value of my car, and then you get an accident, one door is damaged, and you bring us a bill of 50,000, insurance company will tell you, no, you said the whole car is 100,000. So why do you want me to pay 50,000 for one door? And then the other things about the information, issues about the age, and then also sometimes evidence, killing of evidence. You see, when an accident occurs, you can't just go and repair your car and say, oh, I had an accident, I'm bringing you, this is the bill. The insurance company must see. They must go to the workshop and negotiate on their behalf. So all these things, and sometimes even just the filling of the forms, the information you provide, it can also lead to the repudiation of the claim.
One thorny issue has got to do with deductible.
Yeah.
So usually for motor policies, it's either you are in a 90% cover or 100% cover. If it's for commercial, you can go to 85% cover. So if you're on a 90% cover, that means that whenever you have an estimate of repairs, you are involved in an accident, whether it's a partial loss or total damage. When you have, especially for partial loss, whenever you have that contribution, it means that you are going to get the value, 90% of the value for which you insured for, even though you have taken a comprehensive insurance.
Right.
So it's only 100% cover, insurance cover, that when you are at a claim, you do not contribute to anything.
Okay, so you need to be sure of whether
either
the
a
cover is
90% cover or your motor comprehensive policy
is 100%.
So you can just check, either call your broker to confirm for you if he hasn't done already, or if you don't have a broker, just log on to our website. Get involved in any broker, and then we'll take you through that.
What's interesting for me and what is a good takeaway from this conversation is the fact that the brokers are not only there to sign you on, but to also help you make a claim
through the whole process.
Because I'm sure that the notion was that brokers just want to get a business signed and that's it.
But
the role of the broker goes beyond that.
Yeah, you're right. So if you look at it, we've said a whole lot of issues. What leads to these disputes in claims and all of them, and that's the role of a broker. And I think your broker comes handy, especially when it comes to claim. So right from the state when you're buying the policy, we know what you want. So we listen to you and we're able to profile and buy you something that is suitable for you. So issues about policy conditions being breached and all those things will not come in. And then when you have a claim, we walk you through all the claim processes, filling of document, gathering of evidence, and it is the broker that will now go and meet with the insurance company. You don't even have any interface with the insurance company. So lessons will have to sit in your studio, do your drive time
for your broker.
Right. When you have an accident, call the broker. Broker looks at it, help you to gather all the documents, get you your claim, and then you are then I'll call you and say, Lesis, check your bank account. Your claim is, has dropped.
No, this is really cool.
And Lesis, just to add to what Stephen is saying, just last 2 weeks ago, we had a client whose motor vehicle got involved in an accident, commercial motor, and with a trailer full of container load. So it was involved in an accident, and then it's a Burkinabe truck. So there was a property damage involved, and the owner of the property insisted that unless they repair it, they will not allow. So they called us. Our client was one related to the transporter. So they called us. We quickly went there, went to the ECOWAS Brown Card Secretariat. We got a letter that's Ghana is a signature of, whereby whenever you, Lexus, you are driving to Togo, you get involved in an accident, you destroy somebody's property, they are not supposed to detain your car because you have an ECOWAS Brown Card certificate.
Yeah.
And I need to also tell listeners that you need to insist on your ECOWAS Brown Card certificate from your insurance company.
Okay.
Such that it comes with the premium that you are paying for every motor insurance.
Okay.
Such that when you are traveling outside of these places, you would. So long story short, we had to help him get that letter. That letter was the one that...
Use a broker, you will see how sweet it is.